Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel and welcome to another Daily Race C strategy guide for the races starting 2nd of March 2020, where we are going to be heading to Brands Hatch in Group 3 machinery for 14 laps of the famous British circuit. Fuel at ×2, so it shouldn't really be an issue, and tyre wear at ×9. And then what is a bit of a change for the race C, we are going to have the option of 3 different tyres, the soft, medium and hard, and I am going to presume for this video that the racing hard is going to be mandatory. As normally when PD do a race like this in FIA settings, it is a hard tyre that is mandatory, and I sort of think, well, what else would that tyre be there for? So the car that we are going to do this video in is the new addition to Group 3, the Aston Martin DBR9 GT1. Be quick, brief sort of thoughts on the car. Very safe car, not too much drama with it. Seems to be pretty quick in a straight line, good acceleration. But there is inherent understeer in it when it's bopped to its Group 3 settings, which can be a little bit of an issue around a circuit like Brands Hatch where you're looking for a good front end. Tyre wear doesn't seem too bad, and this is not the right race to really sort of get a gauge on how it performs fuel wise. But moving on, we're just going to go straight into a race run here. We're going to do a 2-stopper initially. My thoughts being that the tyre will be at ×9 and running on soft tyres. That was going to be quite high. Brands Hatch is obviously, whilst a fairly short lap, there's a lot of corners and a lot of mid-speed corners, so the tyres do take quite a hammering here. And second to that, because we are assuming that the hard tyre is going to be mandatory, I don't think you're going to be wanting to do a reasonable stint on the hard tyres. I think they're just going to be too slow. So we're going to do 2 stints in the softs and then stop for the hard tyres right at the very end. So moving on here to lap number 6, this is going to be our first in lap where we're going to take on a new set of soft tyres. You can see the tyre wear from the indicators has been quite hefty, even though we're only halfway through lap 6, so 5.5 laps. The tyres are starting to give in, particularly that left rear seems to be the troublesome tyre for this one. But 2 corners to go and then we're going to come into the pit lane. So we'll take on a new set of soft tyres. We'll get an idea of what kind of loss we're going to do in the pits. And as discussed beforehand, as we shall see here, no need to worry about that fuel. Still got 21 laps to go. And we'll sort of discuss a little bit later on why I think the fuel has been set to ×2. So pit loss for this one is around about 7 seconds. It's quite hard to get an accurate gauge on just what it is, because you come into the first corner a little bit slower than you normally would. So I've based it on the braking zone for turn 2, and that pit loss was coming in around about 7 seconds. So keep that one in mind as we move on through this run. So new set of soft tyres, let's see if they are worth a little bit of lap time with the reduced fuel. So we did 6 laps on our first stint and we've done 7 laps on our second stint. The lap time's not dramatically improved over the first stint, even though we are maybe 25 kilograms lighter in fuel, which surprised me a little bit. We have done our fastest lap of a 23.2, but we should really sort of try to get into the 22s on the second stint. Reason for that is that I had to have quite a few goes at this combination. Brands Hatch was just not a strong track for me, and I kept making mistakes. So one thing to note about the pit lane, it's quite tricky. Have a little bit of a practice on it in qualifying. You can just sort of do pit stops in qualifying. If you run over the green section, I believe you can pick up a half-second penalty, so keep that in mind as well. So we pitted there for the second time on lap 13, and we're just going to do one last lap on the hard tyres. Now the hard tyres are pretty abysmal. If you note that our outlap on lap 7 was a 26.9, our outlap on the hard tyres, even though we're much lower on fuel, was a 28.2. So 1.3 seconds slower, even though we were much lower on fuel. And I do think we made a bit of a mistake on our outlap on the soft tyres. However, let's take a closer look at how the hard tyres perform here. Now, having done that 2-stop run, I would normally go in to test the 1-stop, but because the 1-stop was going to involve you having to do a stint of at least 7 laps on the hard tyres, and I could tell just how slow they were just from that 1 lap that I'd done on them, I didn't really think there was any point. So I just jumped in and put the hard tyres on just to sort of get a comparison as to how they perform against the softs lap time wise, and we'll be able to sort of get an idea whether it would be worth doing a 1-stop, maybe doing 7 laps in the softs, 7 laps in the hards. So we're going to jump forward here. I think we've done about 4 laps on the hard tyres. There we go. Lap times in the mid 25s compared to sort of mid to low 23s initially with the soft tyres. So at least 2 seconds a lap slower, the hard tyres, which means that after 3 laps you're going to sort of gain a pit stop on the soft tyres anyway. And here's just the other disadvantage of the hard tyres. They've got much less grip. They can kind of catch you out when you've been running just around the soft tyres, and I think they're going to be much easier to run wide on a harsh circuit like Brands Hatch with the hard tyres. So one last thing we'll take a look at before we sort of discuss what we think is the best strategy. Brands Hatch, the meta car, if you like, is usually the Audi R8. I think that will certainly be the qualifying car, the car you'll see dominating the leaderboards. So we took out the Audi just to see how it performs over a race stint, and it kind of surprised me that it wasn't a good bit quicker than the DDR9. I expected to sort of comfortably hit the 22s for a couple of laps in the Audi, but something to do with these settings, the soft tyres and maybe the fuel set at ×2, just seems to sort of unsettle the rear a bit more than I was expecting. If you've seen my Ferrari video, I did a 5-lap run on the Audi on the medium tyres with tyre wear set at ×10 and fuel set at ×4, and the car felt much more poised and balanced than it does in these settings. And the only thing I can really put that down to is the fuel settings are a little bit lower, so you're not burning anywhere near the same fuel off over the first couple of laps. And then the car is carrying a good bit more weight, probably wearing the rear tyres out a little bit more. It just seems to all add up to make the Audi a little bit skitterish. As you're going to see here, we're going to get a tank slapper and spin out. So I think the reason that maybe PD, and I sort of alluded to this earlier in the video, maybe the settings being set at ×2 to try and kind of balance out the outright speed of the MR cars and the sort of stability of the FR cars, if you like, to try and make more cars viable for this race. So the MR cars are going to be very quick, but you're going to have to sort of really manage that rear tyre wear, and come towards the end of the stints I think they're going to be pretty skittish and quite easy to lose that back end and have a spin, whereas the FR cars, even though the tyre wear is quite severe, or just as severe, and you're losing lap time, you never feel uncomfortable driving the car. You never feel like it's just going to snap on you and throw you into the barrier for no reason. So yeah, kind of a hard video for me to make. I'm having to make assumptions with these new settings that PD are going for, where we're having to run mandatory tyres and we're getting a bigger tyre selection. There's nothing on Kudos Prime to give an indication as to what's going to be the mandatory tyre. But I'm going to assume it's the hard one for this one. If that is the case, I think this is a 2-stopper running 2 stints on the softs and just a single lap on the hard tyre at the end. Or at the beginning. You can maybe just try to do 1 lap at the beginning if you're quite far down the grid. Get it out of the way and run 2 stints on the softs. If it happens to just be there's no mandatory tyre, then I think obviously it's a no-brainer just to do 2 stints on the soft tyres. You could maybe try running a medium stint, but I think you're going to be about a second a lap slower, certainly over the first few laps, and then that gap will probably come down sort of about laps 4, 5 and 6. But I just don't see the benefit of it. So okay, that is my thoughts for this one. Hopefully we have predicted the tyres right as we did on the last video. Hopefully there's some useful information in here anyway, certainly in terms of how the different drivetrains perform, the pit loss. So I think there is some useful information in the video for you to take forward into your actual race runs. Good luck if you're going to take this race. I know Brands Hatch is a popular track on many of the GT community, even if it's not one of my favourites, but I will certainly head out there onto the track and try and get a bit more comfortable at Brands Hatch. It's certainly quite a popular track in the FIA Championships. Okay, good luck in your races. Hit that like button if you like what I'm doing here. I'm going to try and get the videos out a bit more often. I'm going to try and put out 3 videos a week. A strategy guide, something a little bit different, and some race reviews of my FIA races. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you on the next one.